Welcome to our Who's Got Game Innovation Showdown. This is an annual event for us. We do this always with around GamesBeat, and it's my favorite part of the GamesBeat conference because we get to see a bunch of startups do a presentation, and then we get to vote and give them some prizes. So I want to go over the rules with you guys so you know what we're doing. We're going to have 7 companies each get 5 minutes on stage, and I'm going to be the timekeeper. I'm going to be the moderator here. They will be questioned by one of our judges for another 1 to 2 minutes before the next company comes on stage. They can show videos, but no PowerPoints. Again, they have the time limit. After all 7 presentations, the judges will gather, and then they'll discuss and we'll reveal the winner at the end of the show, at the end of the day. And I will be the tiebreaker if there's a tie, but our judges are very opinionated. I don't think it's going to come to that. I don't think they want me involved. They're just like, we got this, we got this. Okay, so, and those of you in the audience can vote as well. You can just kind of join in the action and then put in your thoughts and then let us know what you think. The easiest way to vote is via the Bizzabo app. You can download the app, and then if you haven't already, find the GamesBeat event, and then you'll find a poll in there on the main page. And then we'll share the audience votes with the judges in case they're very close that you might influence, you might swing the vote one way or another. All right, so the prizes. So for our winner today, we're going to have some cool prizes. We're going to have a free pass to GamesBeat 2015. So that's going to take place, this conference is going to take place next year in October, or another VentureBeat event of their choice. They're going to get a trophy, a nice little shiny trophy. They're going to get a slot in a Yetizen bootcamp program. This is a 1-month early stage program for startups. It's a $5,000 value. And best of all, they get an article on GamesBeat/VentureBeat. It's covering their game, written by either Dean Takahashi, Jeff Grubb, one of our beautiful writers that we have. All right, so I want to welcome all the judges up, and I'll let them introduce themselves. Please. Come on up. All right, so starting with, oh, you guys are sitting in order. Perfect. So we'll start with Michael then at the end. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Mike Chang.
Oh, microphone.
Hi, my name is Mike Chang. Personal investor and advisor to a few companies.
Hi, I'm Eric Goldberg. I've been in the games field for 35 years with no time off for good behavior. I'm an advisor, board member, and consultant to a large number of companies.
Hi, my name is Sana Chaudhry. I'm the CEO of Yetizen. We're an accelerator as well as an event series, and quite a few of our companies have either spoken at GamesBeat or in the audience right now.
Hi, I'm Ann Burkett, and right now I'm here as a representative of F50, which is going to be investing some money in games over the next year, and that comes from mostly Asian investors. I've run an accelerator, and I've been a game developer most of my life.
Cool. You can set it down. I have the mic. All right, thanks. So I'm excited to see, I hope the presentations are good because 3 of you judges are new. So I know you're with us for the first time as a judge, so thanks. Oh, before it'll be, okay, not last year when I was running it, sorry. So yeah, working with these judges, I know they're really tough and they're very, very picky, so the presentations better be good. So with that one, we're gonna bring up our first contestant, Chobo Labs.
Hi, my name is Dejan, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Chobo Labs. First, a quick thank you to VentureBeat for having us. It's a real pleasure to be here. I spent 4 years as a professional gamer, playing Counter-Strike and StarCraft. And it's been tremendously exciting to see the growth of that space, the latest news, of course, being the Twitch billion-dollar acquisition. However, there are no great competitive synchronous multiplayer games on mobile. We're Chobo Labs, and we're bringing competitive gaming to mobile, starting by reimagining the shooter. My co-founder Peter here will show you how that looks. Now, when I say shooter, most of you are probably imagining a first-person 3D shooter. Unfortunately, those are just not very precise. Those controls are not very precise on a touch device. So instead of that, we have developed a title that we're going to show you called Pirate Throne, which is a platform shooter. And Peter here is going to demonstrate a quick free-for-all 6-person match. You can see his fingers at the bottom of the screen there to take a look at the controls, which are very simple. You've got arrows for left and right, jump button on the right side, a shoot button, and of course the ability button, which is that special ability that he has in this particular game. And I'm going to do my best to narrate the exciting action as it happens. It's my first time, so bear with me. But Peter is playing he has about 50 seconds or so left. He's playing, as I said, a free-for-all match, locked in battle with this guy who keeps jumping on top of him. And now, unfortunately, he perishes from the flamethrower. Peter's using the cannon, which is our version of what a rocket launcher is, and he has the ability over there, which he didn't use so far, but it's basically a BFG if you've played a Quake or a Doom. He managed to score a kill, unfortunately got shot down yet again. He's back in action though. He responds very, very quickly, trying to run away, gets sliced by the knife, and fortunately gets sliced again, and that's the end of that round. He has another 20 seconds to actually score a few more kills. No enemies right now. There's 5 other red guys that he's fighting with, and he got webbed there by one of the abilities and sliced yet again. Not really doing that well, although he scored 4 frags, I guess. And he's back in action. He has 2 seconds, 1 second, and I'm afraid he's going to end in 5th place, which I guess is better than 6th place. And because we have a little bit of extra time, just wanted to show you the flexibility of these controls. So Peter's going to choose a different weapon just so you guys can see the diversity in the game. But more importantly, he's also going to choose a different kind of game mode. So we've got Team Deathmatch. We showed you FFA, but we're actually going to play our version of Capture the Flag, which we call a gold rush or gold stealing. Basically, Peter is going to be on the blue team, and he's playing against the red team. It's a 3 versus 3 battle. And this is his pile. He's supposed to defend that pile from the enemy while at the same time attempting to steal from the red pile, which you can see here. So he just grabbed some gold. He's making his way back and managed to very quickly make a kill. And wow, very nice usage of the teleport, and was able to avoid death there and even deposit, which means that he scores 5 points. Killing is a point, 5 points for depositing, so it's very valuable. Unfortunately, he got burned to death there. But he's quickly back in action. He avoided the mine. I don't know how many of you saw the mine there, but it was at the bottom of the screen, and he, I think, wants to get another gold. By the way, you may notice that every once in a while the characters move very quickly together, or very fast, I should say, forward. That's basically dashing. That stamina bar, that violet kind of bar there, is how you can dash. And dashing is important because then when dashing, you don't actually take damage. So the game itself is actually quite deep and quite complicated to master, even though it looks very simple to get started with. That's on purpose. It's a design goal of ours. Unfortunately, he got caught there by the trap and has 8 seconds. The match is actually very close, 70-17. And he managed to score a frag, 18-18 with a second to go, 19-18, a last-minute victory. Thank you, Peter. Good game. So hopefully that gave you a glimpse of how we're thinking about bringing competitive gaming to mobile. We've been testing a whole bunch of variations of this, and we're already seeing engagement in the hours, something that I think many people don't think happens at all on mobile. Imagine having this experience in your pocket next time you're playing with your friends or hanging out at a bar or whatever it is. And that really is our vision. We've built a 10-person team that has previously made over $100 million in the app stores with our games, and our goal would be to bring competitive gaming to mobile. And we're Chobo Labs. Thank you for your attention.
All right. Judges, any questions?
So let's say that the pirate game is a massive hit, goes to the top of the App Store. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
What is the path from there? What is the company? Do you start working on the next title? What is the company going to become after you've got the massive hit?
So I think in competitive gaming, a massive hit is more than a game that's at top of the charts. I think it's about essentially a single-purpose social network. I think it's a very different kind of a experience. So my goal would be to really do it all. I want the tournaments and the casters and the replays and the community around that. Is there a second title in the future that we would work on? Probably Pilot Arena 2, of course, but at this point we're only focused on getting that big hit.
Okay, thanks. I just wanted to know what the company would become because we're here to analyze company prospects rather than just the game.
Yep.
Okay, this reminds me a little bit of Quiz Up. which we worked with. And so I believe that people can get competitive, very competitive on mobile. We saw that, although that was a little more casual game, obviously. But one of the things that they had to program and figure out immediately was, and the difficulty with multiplayer games is, what do you do when nobody's there or when you can't match somebody? So have you already put in algorithms for that?
It's the liquidity problem. It's a very real problem indeed when you're getting started. We do right now do a little basic matching around skills so that players enjoy the game, because otherwise, obviously, that wouldn't be enjoyable. As the audience grows, that problem in itself will diminish. To begin with, though, by that problem, I mean the fact of not being able to find somebody else to play with. Today, we obviously rely on AI to be able to fill in the gaps to make sure players don't wait for too long to kind of get started and really experience the game, and obviously build it from there.
By the way, congratulations on not being a real shooter on mobile. Yeah, this is more of a casual platformer, better fit.
I think of it as Smash Brothers on mobile, basically. Meets a shooter.
So how is engagement, you've obviously done testing on this, how is engagement varied when you are playing with the AI versus actually with a real person? And how, if I'm playing the game, how do I actually know if I'm playing with the AI versus a real player?
Yeah, so today we don't let you know too much. I mean, we're at the very early stages, so it's probably hard for you to tell. In terms of engagement, I mean, honestly, this is the kind of thing that when we give to our test group we lock ourselves in a room, give it to our test group, and the excitement is extremely palpable, because usually what happens is 3 versus 2, or 3 versus 3, or 2 versus 2. And so it's incredibly exciting to play with other people. I think what keeps the online players engaged that don't necessarily play with other people is just the challenge. It's very hard to master the game. People are spending, they're playing hundreds of those kinds of matches. This was a shortened version. Our real version has longer rounds. But the point is that they're spending a lot of time in the game to really be able to learn all the tips and the tricks around weapons, abilities, maps, modes. It adds up quite a bit.
All right. We're out of time. We have to move on to Game Lock.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Shalom, shalom. I'm Andy Altshuler. I'm the founder and CEO of EXP Commerce, based in Jerusalem, Israel. I've traveled a long way to be here with you today. Thank you to GamesBeat for putting on a great conference and for inviting us to be here. So EXP is revolutionizing commerce. Sounds crazy, I know, but that's what we're doing. We have 4 granted US patents, 6 patents pending, additional patent applications in the works, and amongst our patents, we have more than 200 inventive features. We are fundamentally changing the way consumers buy and sell and resell and enjoy and experience products. We're a new model of temporary ownership of collaborative consumption for the sharing economy. For businesses, manufacturers, publishers, retailers, distributors, marketplaces, for anyone that sells products, we're changing how they sell and how they make money. Our universal system is called the Lock-It System. One day soon, the Lock-It System will connect with millions of websites and brick-and-mortar stores and will revolutionize every industry. But we're starting with video games with console discs. Today, I'm here to announce that the Lock-It System is debuting on the website GameLock.com. I invite all of you to go to GameLock to sign up to be notified when we launch. Watch our 1-minute video, tweet about us, tell your friends to like us on Facebook, and visit our blog at gamelock.com/blog. I invite the whole gaming community, whether you're a publisher, distributor, retailer, consumer, to join the GameLock revolution. Talk with myself, Mario, Richard, or Yehuda afterwards to find out how. So before I get into the GameLock demo, I'd like to share with you how I see the current state of buying and selling discs today. So a consumer goes to GameStop or Amazon or Walmart or Sears or Best Buy or any retailer, and they buy a new game for $60. or they buy the pre-owned version for $55 if it's available, just an 8% spread between that new disc and pre-owned disc. He plays it for a week or two, or for a month or two or three, and when he's done with it, he goes to GameStop, gets a $15 or $20 store credit, or if he wants more money, he goes and sells it on eBay or on Amazon. Now, there's a big disconnect between that first and second sale. With the second sale, it requires time, effort, headache, uncertainty. All in all, there's just a lot of friction. You've got to open an eBay account, you've got to list the product, wait for a buyer, answer the buyer's questions, communicate with the buyer, collect the money, ship the product, leave feedback. It's a painful process. And you have to pay that $60 up on day one and hope that you are going to recoup some of your money on the resale. And GameStop takes that game that you've just got a store credit for 15 or 20 bucks, and they resell it for more than double, and they're making billions of dollars. And the consumers know they're getting screwed on the trade-in, but it's easier than going and resell it themselves on eBay or Amazon. And the publishers are getting nothing. The publishers don't like to talk about pre-owned discs. It's the silent killer. The publishers are making money only on that first sale. But that disc could sell 10 more times in the aftermarket, and the publishers are making nothing. No control, no participation, no profit on the resale of their discs. They make money only on the initial sale. So eBay, Amazon, and GameStop are making all that money on the next 10 sales. So that's a quick overview of the industry as I see it. And now let me tell you about GameLock. So the way that GameLock works, the most basic feature of the Lock-It system is at the time of purchase, we enable the consumer to lock in the future resale. They get a guaranteed resale, guaranteed buyer, guaranteed price, guaranteed resale date. And then the consumer pays only the spread between the purchase price and the resale price. And if the consumer chooses not to resell, then they pay the balance. So for consumers, we're lowering the cost of acquisition. We're eliminating that hassle, effort, and uncertainty of buying and reselling. We're combining that first sale and the second sale into one transaction. And by lowering the cost of acquisition, by eliminating any friction in the resale, and by combining the resale and the initial sale into one, we're increasing primary sales. For businesses, manufacturers, publishers, retailers, distributors, marketplaces, for anyone that's selling products, the Lock-It system enables you to take back that secondary market. So without further ado, let's have a sneak peek at the beta. And for the sake of time, let me just jump right into a product page. And you can see how the system works. So here's a popular game, Destiny, for PlayStation 4. You can either buy it brand new for $54.99 or pre-owned for $48.95. That's a traditional purchase. Or you can buy now and lock in a resale in 30 days. So pay $54.99, or if the used one is available, you would see that here as well. You can choose cash or store credit. You see your total cost. So this is a 30-day, here's 60-day, here's 90-day. And we're launching just with these three options. Then you just click Add to Cart, proceed to checkout, one-click checkout, and that's it. When you get your game, you receive a prepaid return mailer. We notify you when it's time to sell your game. You drop it right in the mailer, put it right in the mailbox, and that's it. You get your money back when we get your game.
I think we're out of time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Judges?
Andy, a couple of questions. Testing. Great. Andy, a couple of questions here. Sure. I used to work at EA. Everyone at EA was, folks were always telling EA, the number of sales of discs would go down, GameStop would go under. Obviously, they were wrong, but there is growing activity in digital downloads. Does that negatively impact your addressable market as time goes on?
So we're very excited for that. Our patents apply to all products, including digital.
And what are the ramifications if someone fails to return a disc on time?
They just pay the balance.
Any other questions from the judges?
So you've mentioned all the pain points. Have you done any sort of SWOT analysis or sensitivity analysis to figure out what the amount of money that's actually available? In other words, everyone will agree the publishers would love to be able to get 10 copies. It sounds attractive, but have you figured out what the actual amount of money that's friction in the system? Because that'll tell you whether or not the economic model is likely to work.
So I mean, there's a huge amount of margin in the secondary market. You know, if you just look at GameStop's 10K, they're making 50% profit on the resale. So there's a huge margin there to be shared with everybody.
but you haven't had someone do an econometric analysis to see what the actual, in other words, what the intent to pay, what people will actually pay for versus what the actual margins are.
I don't believe we've done any sensitivity analysis up
Okay.
till now. But when we launch, we'll be doing all the analysis.
Okay, great.
One more quick question.
Potential market size? Like, well, if you got 10% of a potential market, what is that potential market size? Total overall?
So I think the most, just looking at video game discs as one small vertical, I think the sales in 2013 of new discs were 6 billion. The number for resale hasn't been published by anyone, but I know, for example, in the car market, the resale market is 3 times greater than the initial market. So I mean, we're talking trillions of dollars here across all of commerce.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we have Hello Gamers.
Hello gamers, my name is Nam Huang and I'm one of the co-founders of HelloGamers.com, an online marketplace that connects gamers to sponsors. And I want to start this off by introducing you to one of our gamers, Lyric. Now he seems like an average guy, but the truth is he's actually a superstar. And the reason why is that Lyric here gets an average of 30,000 concurrent viewers and has over 43 million total views on his Twitch channel alone. So that means 30,000 people are watching and listening to everything he says almost 8 hours a day, every day. So while we're toiling away at our day jobs, gamers just like Lyric, they're making anywhere between $250,000 to $10 million a year just from playing games. And a huge chunk of that income comes directly from sponsorships. See, there are tens of thousands of gamers out there, and many of them are just as popular, yet 98% of them still don't have sponsorships, simply because it's not easy to find them. You know, if you wanted to find these gamers, you'd have to do a lot of research, track them down, contact each individually, which could take months, if not longer. And Hello Gamers, we want to change all that. So we recreated a platform that connects gamers directly to sponsors. So let's jump in and take a look at how it works. See, Hello Gamers allows gamers to create a profile that is specifically tailored to what sponsors are looking for. And this includes their basic information, such as the games they're playing, who their sponsors are, but it also tracks key statistics from major platforms like Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. It also allows them to create sponsorship packages so that sponsors know exactly what they're getting and how much it costs. So sponsors can now browse through hundreds of thousands of profiles to find the gamer that best matches what they need. Or they can just let our system do the matching for them. And this works the same for pro teams as well as pro gamers. But it doesn't stop there. You know, we want to help gamers and sponsors do the entire sponsorship process. So we create a dashboard that lets them manage everything. And this includes their communications, their social interactions, tracking and monitoring, and most importantly, reporting. Now, reporting in the past has always been a challenge to gamers, simply because they don't have the time or the experience to do it. You know, what they usually deliver to sponsors is a bunch of screenshots and some photos, which doesn't really give sponsors any insight. But because all our data is dynamically driven, we're able to craft detailed reports on the fly, so that sponsors have, for the first time, a clear idea of what their ROI is. You see, at Hello Gamers, we want to give every gamer a chance to be discovered. So that's why our freemium model allows gamers to create an account and get the first sponsorship for absolutely free. So that means no risk, nothing to lose, and everything to gain. You know, many people, they still wonder, why would anybody watch gamers playing games, you know, when they could just play the games themselves? And what they don't realize is that there's a huge paradigm shift going on, you know? We're not just watching games. We're watching an adventure. And these gamers, they're like the modern day entertainers, crafting these amazing, funny and hilarious stories on the fly. And they have such great connections with their audience. So to end this, we want to show you just a little clip of the kind of hard work and dedication that they put in every day. And it should start.
Mr. Anderson, we've been expecting you. God damn you, Mr. Anderson. God damn you.
He's starting to sound like Snape.
10 points to the Matrix.
How about I just murder you right here, alright? I'm gonna throw some shit at you.
There's a teddy bear down here, some used condoms, and water.
Excuse me, motherfucker! You want drugs?
Some guy says,
by making that choice and doing this instead, I've taken a huge pay cut, but it is worth it, freaking worth it.
All right, thank you. Judges?
Hi.
Hi.
I was talking with Eric about this before we came out, and good point was brought up that what you're doing here is acting like a talent agency, and traditionally that's been founded on two things: relationships with sponsors and also relationships with whoever is being sponsored. In this case, gamers. You're bringing in a lot of technology into it, partly in place of the relationships. How do you think that's going to stack up against people who have those relationships, especially with sponsors? Because that would seem like the weak link.
Well, it started off with the fact that my partners and I actually are agents. And we worked with the top Twitch sponsors, and gamers. We work with major brands as well as, I would say, the top 100 in Twitch. And they kept on coming to us with this. And we could take a huge cut of the sponsorships like we used to do, but we figured this is inevitable, this is coming. And if we don't do something about it, that helps widen this experience and opportunity for every gamer, then somebody else is going to do it. So we decided we're just going to do it first. And then we even had debates like, should we take a cut of the transactions like an agent traditionally would, and we said, no, this is bigger than that. We're not going to take any transaction fees. We're just going to make it so that every gamer has a chance to get out there.
So if you're not taking transaction fees, then you've got to be VC funded or other funded until
the only thing that is funding it is subscription model.
Okay, but you're seeking more funding than that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's helpful because to me that would have been the hardest thing to do, is to get the relationship with the sponsors. But if you start with that, I don't know, somebody else shoot a hole in it.
All right, that's all the time we have. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, so next, this company couldn't actually make it out. They had a last-minute change of plans. They could not make it out, so unfortunately, they're not eligible for the final prize, to be fair to the contestants who did show up, but we're gonna play a video of theirs just so they could get their time, get some press. So we're gonna run that right now.
Nimble is the best motion sensing device ever. What sets it apart is sub-millimeter accuracy, long range, and almost no lag. Nimble makes games so much more fun and realistic. And kids love Nimble. Nimble brings all of their favorite games to life. They wave, lean, and jump around.
The Nimble device is awesome, man. I mean, clearly the experience of using the finger is a lot more intuitive, especially for a game like this. The interface is very smooth. I was very impressed. So good job, guys.
While designing Nimble, knowing the fact that only our fingertips can be moved with the most precision among all other body parts, we decided to track their movement. It's very easy to set up. Plug in the sensor, get Nimble on your finger, and start using. Developing with Nimble is amazingly simple. We'll provide an SDK with advanced developer options so that more and more apps can get support as soon as possible. Integrating games with Nimble is very easy. You can assign a gesture to any key or click. Low latency and long range makes it perfect for VR headsets, so you can actually touch and interact with what you see. Nimble opens up amazing new possibilities for developers. They will get access to 3D position data at a high frame rate. Our software can track many Nimble devices simultaneously, enabling developers to make multiplayer content.
I saw, as compared to other devices which are out there, it's quite accurate and quite fast as well. The response is quite fast. If you really have to talk about gameplay, it allows you to get high precision and you can make games that require high dexterity.
Nimble can simulate touchscreens so that all games developed for mobile devices can be used directly on PCs, bringing a freedom to develop content on any platform.
All right, so that's Nimble. They're on Indiegogo if you want to check them out. So we're going to bring out our next contestants, Nudge.
Hi, my name is Dano. I'm CEO and founder of Nudge. And we provide live ops solution for mobile games. And I would like to start with one example. Let's say that you are managing mobile soccer game, maybe FIFA. I'm from EA. So Team USA just won one of the tournament game in the World Cup, and you want to use that opportunity to promote your game. What did you do? Probably you want to create some kind of exclusive item, Team USA uniform, and give it to US gamers for free, for limited time only, something like that. But you would realize that you don't have that types of capability to create an item instantly, and you can't really give reward to specific group of users instantly without update. You know, people will say, hey, you should update for next, you should wait for next update, like that. So this is happening a lot in mobile game company. So mobile is all about speed, timing and personalization. So we came up with an idea to develop specialized mobile live ops solution. We combined analytics, targeting, and engagement plus marketing automation tool in one package that is very easy to use, also provides seamless workflow. Let me show you how it works. Okay, this is our dashboard. So you can see all active users in the last 24 hours. Here, you can see how many people are actually using your game right now, playing. In this section, you can see segment breakdown. So in this example, I defined well who spent more than $199. So I'm going to go here. And these are all customizable. In this example, I want to see who passed stage 20. You can see the number change in real time. This is not statistical sample. You can see it changes in real time. So if you take a look at this, you can see how many people are active and inactive, also paying or non-paying, or how much they pay. Here, there is a spike. You can see if there are 570 people who has not spent any money in your game. I want to run sales promotion campaign for these people. I'll just select sales promotion, virtual currency. I'll just choose smoke grenade, which is our top selling item, and set discount rate 50. So I added campaign. I'm going to assign collateral, which I prepared. So I assigned it. I want to display it in whenever whale visits the main page. But I don't want to, spoil them too much, and I want to set display interval every 1 hour. Since I'm not really sure whether this campaign will work or not, I want to create A/B testing, limit number of users who are going to see this campaign, 100, and then split between test group and control group as 50-50. So that's it. If I run this campaign, you can see this campaign has been activated. If you go to the app, you can see that this pops up. Oops, let me see. I'm going to make this whale, and it pops up like this. If you click on it, we have integrated iTunes API automatically. So if you buy it, you can see that item is in the mailbox. So I'm going to show you one other example. If you send push notification, you can just create one campaign, and you can send it message to all different users from different bill. Right now, you can see Apple App Store, Google Play users numbers. And also you can see the open rate. So if you send out a push notification message, you can check whether they got the message and open the app or not. Also, you can assign multi-language messaging into one campaign. We're going to figure out who used Spanish message in their smartphone so that send push notification in Spanish right away. So as you saw in the demo, you have full access to live data and also in-app economy as well. And with just a few clicks, you can track users' behavior in real time, recognize opportunity in real time, and engage them instantly. So then you can continuously optimize your campaign using A/B tests. Thank you.
Thank you. Judges.
Okay, so this is a very nice evolution of a metrics play. It's much easier to access the information, and it's actionable. Metrics plays, however, have been something where it's a long slog to sell in because you have to deal with the inertia of whatever system is already in there. And then, of course, once you get in there, there's always a bunch of competitors who will be able to do what this is within a period of time. What is the longer-term sustainable competitive advantage or advantages that you'll build, assuming that you get, let's say, 25 to 50% market share?
Okay, so I want to use car analogy. Mobile is still young, so a lot of companies pull a lot of money to build companies like Toyota. And so basically, they are making a universal car for general people for a bigger market. Instead of us, what we do is, we are focusing on just one area, which we call live ops. It's like developing racing car for F1 race. So you take out, passenger seat, luxury levels like that. We just take it out. We focus on there. So as you saw, we just focus on live data and live operation. Basically, if you want to do analysis on past data, probably you will use some other analytic. So that's how we think that we preserve value and focus on co-advance.
So if I understand correctly, you'll extend it to other areas of the full game process, from development through sequels and so on and so forth. That's where you would expand?
So we have a technological advantage over purchase tracking. So we want to expand to mobile commerce as well, since it uses similar purchase transaction. So I'm sorry?
Who are your current customers?
Current customers? Right now we have Nexon, NetWiz, mostly based in Asia. As you know, the Nexon is pioneering your free-to-play game, right? So instead of they build in-house tool, they chose us 2 years ago. We have worked with them closely.
So I've noticed in a lot of, there's fewer SaaS plays as options for Asian customers, Asian game developers, right? So they're really hungry for this type of stuff. But have you seen any kind of opportunity like this in the U.S. market? And if so, who would be your ideal customers?
Now, right now we are looking at the social and real money casino, because that's where you can just leverage, right, as far as monetization go. And then if you take a look at the security control room in the real casino, they want to watch everything in real time and respond to it, right? We want to make that experience happening in social and real money casino as well.
All right, out of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next we have PlayFab.
Okay, so the game industry has always changed very quickly, but the change in the last couple of years has been especially fast, as we've gone from games that are essentially premium experiences, standalone, to games that are as a service. And the problem with building a game as a service is that instead of just focusing on building a fun experience, you have to focus on so many more things. You have to focus on building DevOps and live operations and servers, and you've got to have 24/7 teams, and the complexities just expand. I saw this firsthand at PopCap Games, where I worked for more than 8 years. In PopCap, originally we focused just on building fun games, and it was a very straightforward business. But as we moved toward free-to-play and games as services, the complexity expanded. So suddenly it became much harder to focus just on the fun. We suddenly had to focus on so many more things, and it was a real challenge. And I think a lot of smaller companies really struggle with this complexity. So what we're trying to do at PlayFab is create a one-stop shop, a back-end as a service for all games. So essentially, everything you need to build a back-end, we provide for you: hosting, servers, technologies, and the tools to actually operate and manage a game once it goes live. So the game developers continue to focus on the fun, focus on the core game experience. Let us do all the boring stuff, the back-end bits. Today, most developers build their own backends from scratch. Hugely inefficient. You have so much engineering cost to build up front. You barely get it working by the time you go live. Or you're trying to cobble together 10 different SDKs from different companies that are not designed to work together, and you have what I've heard this term now, SDK fatigue. So we're trying to be a one-stop SDK, and then we can do a lot of integration with best-of-breed partners on the back end. Think of us as like Salesforce for gaming. So let me give you a quick demo now, kind of showing you what it looks like. So this is a very simple game demo, nothing too fancy here. You can see a couple things. Here's an in-game store with some items. Over here is my virtual currency. I can, for example, buy this pack of items. You can see what this currency went down, my inventory went up. I've got, for example, some in-game marketing, a little piece of news here being published into the game. I've got things like a leaderboard experience. And I've got things like these tool tips are also being dynamically updated. So that's a very simple little demo. Let's look at the back-end side. So this is the game manager. This is your mission control center for your game experience. This is where your entire team gathers to operate your game. Customer service, game designers, in-game marketing, product managers, your whole team sits around this tool. Now this version of the tool has been live now for a couple years. We acquired the technology from an existing game company, so it's a little bit dated. We're working on a new version of the technology now, which is super slick. It'll be live in about 2 months, much better experience. But nonetheless, this is what we have today. Here's my profile for my player. You can see my virtual currency balance. If I hit refresh, you see this is going to go down because of reflecting the activity I just played in that demo. If I was a customer support person, I could go in and do a service recovery and actually add virtual currency to this player's profile. I could look at this person's login history. So the person says, my account was hacked. I can say, no, you weren't. You've never logged in from a different MAC address or IP address. You're making that up. I can look at the person's inventory. If I had to, I could go and I could revoke an item from this player and take it back. I could look at this person's purchase history and see purchases that maybe didn't go through or that were opportunities to do a promotion. And then if this is and we also support multiplayer games. So if you're a multiplayer game, we have your entire history of any game sessions you've played, who you've played with, server logs, and so on. In this short demo, I can only scratch the surface. We have a lot of features in this tool. For example, setting up your in-game currency, a virtual currency transaction. So the first thing most games do is they create a virtual currency for themselves. And they say, what's my starting balance for that virtual currency? Then they define the catalog of all the items that you want to purchase in the game. And because we only do games, our catalog is very focused on the needs of the game industry. We have durable items, consumable items, items that last for 72 hours, then go away. We have random drop tables for things like card packs. We have sets of items where if I buy these 5 items, I get the 6th item for free. So we have the whole catalog sort of management experience out of the box. I mentioned in-game marketing. Today, this is very basic. I can go in and I can create new kind of articles, hit publish, they go into the game live. Next up for us is segmentation, targeting this messages and then having live kind of dynamic content in your in-game marketing. I mentioned multiplayer. If this is a multiplayer game, you could upload your server builds to us. We do all the hosting and management for you. We have data centers around the world where we manage and host these games out in the wild, and then we do all the matchmaking to match players against your backends. You could go in, if this was a multiplayer game, you'd see all the servers here and the uptimes and who's playing on these different servers and so on. So, and then the final piece of the whole thing is reporting. So we have a very basic set of reports out of the box. This is just a simple demo, so it's not too fancy. You can kind of see a few logins over the last few days. But we also do retention tables and all the basic reports you need out of the box, top spenders report and so on. We also integrate with third parties for things like deep advanced analytics, and you can also use Tableau to come in and access all the data for more advanced BI. So everything you need in one-stop shop for games, PC and mobile and console coming soon.
Thank you. Judges.
So, James, what are the points of pain that you could go in? Of all the features you do, which are the ones that you're most likely to get traction with publishers and developers?
So the publishers love us because they have 6 different developers all building games for them, each building their own different backend, each building their own technology set. So if you're a publisher right now, half of your money is going to helping the developer build the backend. The other half of the money is you've got all these different games and different backends, or different management tools. If a publisher tells their developers use PlayFab, number one, all those those developers are putting all their data into the same place, so the publisher can more easily compare the data between the games. All the games are managed with the same set of tools, so you only have to train your customer support team once on a set of tools to manage customer support for those games. And finally, you know that 100% of the money you give those developers is going to building the game itself and not for building redundant technology.
And what about the developers?
And for for indie developers, it's an easy sell. They can't do this at all right now. So they can't even compete in the market today, whereas we give them tools to compete. We're giving everyone a level playing field. It's like giving everyone a Ferrari. You still have to learn how to drive it, but at least you've got comparable tech to other developers. So we're getting a lot of strong feedback from the small developers. But even the bigger publishers are saying, look, I already have a live game. I can build my live technology. But when I'm prototyping a brand new game in the labs, the technology that King.com built for Candy Crush Saga, you can't use that same technology for the back end for a game that's being prototyped. Whereas we are available from day one of prototyping. You can start using our live services from the very beginning of your project. At PopCap, we used to have experiences where you'd build a game in prototyping, and you'd have a buy now button that would do nothing for 6 months. At the very end of development, the button would suddenly start working, and by that point, it's too late to actually do a meaningful test or iteration on it.
James, how do you think about steady-state pricing for this product?
So we chose to price not based as a revenue share, because we don't want to be yet another tax on revenue. We're priced based on usage. So you pay us based on your DAU model. So the more DAU you have, the more you're paying us. But that's also a metric that every developer has a forecast for. Everyone knows what their DAU forecast is. And we're priced so that there's no upfront cost. It's free up to 1,000 DAU. And we're priced so that when you do go live and you're starting to pay us money, it's going to cost the same or less than if you're doing it yourself, with none of the upfront engineering costs. So it's going to be cheap for hosting.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we have next the Tap Lab.
Got a little setup here, so. All right. Got the audio on that? Give you guys a sense for the theme of Bigfoot. All right, if no audio, no problem. I'll kick it off. So my name's Dave Bisceglia. I'm the co-founder and CEO of the Tap Lab. And we've developed a motion control game engine for camera games. And today, I'm thrilled to show you the first of many, Bigfoot Hunter. So Bigfoot Hunter is a free-to-play photo safari game. And it immerses players in this virtual world. Now, we were inspired by the classic N64 game, Pokemon Snap. And we're taking that unique camera game experience to mobile for the first time. So in Bigfoot Hunter, you're actually a wildlife photographer. And you're helping Ranger Rosie restore her parents' Bigfoot museum to its former glory. And you do that by capturing photographic evidence of Bigfoot, Yeti, and all their friends. We've got Sasquatch, Quickfoot, the dreaded tropical screech monster. And as you progress in the game, you can upgrade cameras, add on accessories, and purchase consumables like bait and fuel. So welcome to Bigfoot National Park. This is one of many environments to explore, including Mount Yeti-Manjaro, Sasquatch Shores, all the way to the forbidden rainforest. Okay, let me take you guys on a hunt. So you hold your phone up exactly like a camera, and we're using the accelerometer and gyroscope to give you this immersive experience. And again, this is a camera game. You'll notice we're using parallax on the different layers to add more depth to the environment. The guy's doing something tricky there. And this rabbit's tricky as well. Got him. Okay, so we cleared that stage, and as we're moving, there goes Bigfoot. Okay, so we're on his trail now. We're going deeper into the forest. Now, each critter has unique behaviors that you have to master along the way. Let's see here. Where's that bird? Got him. Incoming pine cone. All right, so that squirrel throws pine cones at you. Let's take him out. There we go. Got the grizzly there. And we've also added in touch controls, too, to get a nice hybrid of controls. Oh, there's Bigfoot. All right. We'll get him before he goes. I feel bad. You guys are missing all the hilarious Bigfoot noises that me and my team made for each one of these characters. So we 3-starred it. We got some great shots. And let's take a trip to Mount Yeti-Manjaro. So you'll notice each environment looks entirely different. And you've got different characters that pose different challenges for players. Wow, we got a snowy owl here. Got him. And there's the yak. All right, what's that penguin do? Oh, he threw a snowball. You got to wipe that off. And then where is he? Got him. Nice. And this guy is an old, angry Yeti who actually blends into the environment and throws ice balls at you. So let's see if we can take him out. All right, good. Probably got a few good, oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a keeper. So you're actually judged based on whether he's in-centered, in focus, and visible. And the important thing here is, you're actually creating stuff every time you play a level. Also, you can share those photos on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And let me show you guys one other thing you can share over here in the photo booth. So as you progress in the game, you unlock the ability to take photos with the characters in the game. And let's get a shot with all you beautiful judges over here. Come on, guys, look at me. Michael, come on. All right, that's a keeper. So I'll share that one to Twitter after the talk. And let's get a one with all you guys, too. So we got Yeti or the Tumblebeast. Tumblebeast? OK. So let's see. He's showing off his butt. All right, say cheese, guys. Nice. All right, so I'll share these on Twitter, #GamesBeat2014 after the talk. But we're building out a portfolio of games on top of this engine. And we're in talks with some of the leading IP holders and publishers to create similar games with their IP. And at the Tap Lab, we know mobile games can be so much more than they are today. We now have a console that's also a camera and has sensors in it that allow us to use the device as the controller. And with this game engine, we're setting out to create the future of fun. Thanks so much.
So Dave, you've talked about indoor location and a number of different technologies you're really excited about. How is that going to be integrated in the next few games that you do, and how's that going to improve gameplay, you think? So,
we've already begun experimenting with using iBeacon for local multiplayer matchmaking. And again, this game was kind of, it comes from our old N64 days, and we were all sitting around the same console. And we love the idea of people sitting around on a couch, busting out their devices, and playing the same game of Bigfoot Hunter together, playing in the same world. So that's one of the things we're working on, still in prototyping phase. And then who knows, we could do a location-based Bigfoot Hunter one day.
I'm completely OK with this, other than the fact that your Yeti is an angry Yeti. I believe Yeti should be cute, especially since my company's name is Yeti-san.
Very nice, yeah. We should do a partnership.
Yeah, let's do one. You can use all our Yeti assets. So in your application, you wrote that your biggest competitors, though, are all the game developers going after the same user base. Mm-hmm. What are you doing specifically to address that kind of threat?
So we're actually looking to partner with a publisher, and we're already in talks with quite a few. In line with that, we've got a game that really stands out and a game that kind of sells itself. The other important thing here is we're looking to make motion controls accessible to the mass market. A lot of other games out there that have used motion controls haven't really pulled that off. And we think because we've got this narrative fit between cameras and that intuitive idea of you're holding this up to take photographs, it clicks with players. And we've seen it, we've had hundreds of play testers, and they really connect with the game. So.
If I'm playing the game and I step out of this room, am I automatically going to see a different level or not unless I catch up?
Not yet, but very soon, yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
All right, finally we have VisiSonics.
Okay, my name is Greg Wilkes with VisiSonics, responsible for business development. VisiSonics is a spin-out from the University of Maryland's Computer Science Department, and we've created a product called Real Space 3D Audio. Has anybody experienced 3D audio recently? Okay, a couple of you. There are a couple of folks who are trying to do 3D audio today, and most of it's kind of panning left and right. We actually are able to play sound in any XYZ coordinate through stereo headsets. So from a gaming perspective, it really adds a lot of value, adds to the experience. The way that 3D audio is created, there's 4 factors that we take into consideration. One is called HRTF, or head-related transfer function, and that's everybody's individual ears, head, shoulders. Every individuals are different, so we have a fairly large library of HRTFs. The next thing is we're able to capture room sizes and adjust room sizes within the game. We also are able to catch reflections, so when you hear, you don't only hear that first initial sound, but as that sound bounces off walls and things of that nature, and we can change the materials on the walls, like a carpeted floor versus a hardwood floor, dampered walls, etc. What we've done is we've created a plugin for the Unity gaming engine. It works under Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android, and it allows developers to take any sound and give it 3D spatialization. So I can't give you a demo today. I've got one outside because it's audio. But what we do is the first person and the object within that game, there are XYZ coordinates. We take those coordinates, we run them through our algorithm, and you can actually hear sound in stereo headsets behind you, in front, above, left, and right. So for traditional gaming, as the screen gets smaller because portable gaming is becoming so popular, it adds another level of experience to that game. When it comes to virtual reality, your brain actually processes visual and auditory experiences at the same weight. So if one or the other is not on kilter, it kind of ruins the experience. But when both of those are top-notch, it's really a 1 + 1 = 3 experience. Initially, it's a Unity plugin. Then we're working on a Wise plugin, FMUD Studio, then eventually Unreal and Cry. And again, I've got a table outside those doors if you'd like to experience it afterwards. Thank you.
So I actually got to see the demo outside, so anyone in the audience who hasn't, you should. It's pretty amazing. So one question, this depends on your integration within headphones as hardware, or like how exactly are you guys going to grow from where you are now as a company?
So it's headphone agnostic. The developer themselves, as they're developing the game, in Unity, for instance, there's FMOD Basic that's built into Unity. We take those sounds, you apply that sound to an object. As you and that object interact, those XYZ coordinates go through our algorithm. And if that object spins behind you, you actually hear a person, a first-person shooter, you can actually hear someone behind you. So headset agnostic, and it's all depending on what the developer wants to experience.
So I get the value prop for console, right? As a gamer playing a console game, it's very immersive. I want to have that kind of audio experience. But with mobile, most people I know, and myself included, when we play mobile games, we're actually not putting headphones on, right? So how do you see penetrating that type of market?
Well, it's a good question. And I guess it comes down to the value added for the developer, those that want to kind of break out. Like, that was a very cool game we just saw. And I could.
Well, you should talk to them.
Yeah. So it's all about creating a sticky relationship with that consumer, increasing gameplay time, and if you can leverage 3D audio to accomplish that, it's value add for the developer, it's value add for the end user, which is what we're all about.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that concludes our Innovation Showdown. Again, those of you in the audience, you guys can vote as well. Just go download the Visible app if you haven't already, and then just look for the polls under the GamesBeat event. So we're gonna share those results shortly with the judges, and we're gonna go backstage and talk about who they liked, who they didn't like. And then at the end of the show today, we'll announce the winners. And again, the prizes, we have an announcement post on VentureBeat, GamesBeat, free pass to GamesBeat 2015 or another VentureBeat event of their choice, a trophy, and a slot in the Yetizen Bootcamp program, which is a $5,000 value. All right, so that concludes. I actually don't have my notes for what's next, so I'm gonna need